Welcome to Dr.MaryOz's Radical Change Now radio program. Today you will learn how to combine healing and the law of attraction to better your own life in mere weeks. Join us on our journey, which starts right now. Here's your host, Dr. Mary Oz.
So welcome everyone to Radical Change Now, where we care about your healing, transformation, and the radical change that you want and deserve in life. And we know that sometimes you feel like the big changes that you want to receive in life just seem out of your reach. So we've designed our show each and every week to bring you a guest who is already affecting other people in their lives in a powerful way. So I'd like to welcome back Vince Kramer. Welcome,
Hi.
Vince.
Hi, Mary. How are you today?
Good. Nice to hear your voice.
You too. I'm so excited to be here and can't wait to start sharing.
Yes, in New York, we survived another nor'easter yesterday. It was like the second or third one in a row we had.
I don't want to break your heart or anything, but I live in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and I'm watering the lawn right now.
Ah, really? You're breaking my heart. You're not supposed to do that. So we're here with Vince Kramer, and he's back for a second show with us. And Vince is known as the mentor to the awakening heart. And he is the author of Miracle Life and the Create Formula. And super excited to have you back today, Vince. And I thought before we do a quick little recap, maybe we could do a little fun exercise together. And is that okay with you?
You bet. That sounds great.
And we would like our audience to do the same exercise that you and I are doing. So in our Radical Change coaching program, we often teach people how to take what we call a breath of appreciation. And what it is you just kind of take a really deep breath, and while you're breathing in, you think of something that you're just really grateful that's happening in your life right now. And then as you breathe out, you kind of want to take an appreciation dive, and out loud you verbally say the first 7 things that come to your mind that you're really grateful for. So would you like to go first or second, Vince?
I'll follow the master.
Okay, so I'll go first and Vince will go. And I would like our audience to participate. And I would like you to do the exercise along with us as we're doing it. So I'm going to go first. So today, I'm super appreciative for my health. I'm appreciative for my business. I'm appreciative for my faith and appreciative for the radical change team that I have, the dream team. Appreciative for the fact that in a couple of hours I'll be boarding a plane to Arizona and leaving some cold New York weather behind. And I think what I'm most appreciative for is just really the gift of life and who I am. Okay, Vince, you're on.
Well, first of all, I'm appreciative that I get an opportunity to share who I am with the world. I'm appreciative of my wife, Mary, and what she has brought into my life and continues to bring into my life. I'm appreciative for the opportunity for us to truly create our lives in the world and to be an example of that. I appreciate the fact that I'm healthy and ready to really experience life in a new way every single day. I appreciate that every opportunity that I'm given to spend time with other people and share who they are just brings more and more into the world and brings more and more into my life. And I appreciate the fact that I'm going to be climbing on an airplane tomorrow and going to sunny Mexico and spending a few weeks there and sharing the word a little bit with everyone, but at the same time enjoying myself and spending time with my bride in a vacation spot.
Awesome. I love it. So I think most of our listeners know that, just taking a moment of appreciation could be so powerful. And, I just want to share too, Vince, I'm really appreciative that I get to see you and Mary in action. I love when we have a couple like, I think of Esther Hicks and Jerry Hicks. And of course, Jerry Hicks has passed on. But, what a powerful married couple that just had a united heart and a united dream to change the world. And you and Mary remind me of that. So when I get to see you guys in action, or I just get to see you talking and chatting or beaming about what you guys do, it's like a breath of fresh air to know that there really are couples out there, and perhaps more than we realize sometimes, really doing the work to want to change the world for the better. So one, I appreciate that. And two, I just want to give a shout out and a thank you to Mary and yourself for that.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Yeah. So we had you on the show last week, and we talked about purpose, meaning, and rules. And we've got a new show this week that's really about finding the you in purpose. But first, give us a quick update or a quick summary of what we shared last week for the people that might be joining our show with you for the first time.
Well, we talked about Imagine Miracles and what the words mean in the title of our company, really to everybody has the opportunity to create their own life with thoughts and feelings, and to do that through expressing themselves with their imagination can actually create the life that they want. We looked at, most importantly, through telling my story, we started talking about wake-up calls and how we each get wake-up calls throughout our lives, and they're very subtle to begin with, and then they get a little stronger and a little stronger and a little stronger until we start paying attention. And it's Mary and my desire to really get the word out and start sharing with people when they're in that small wake-up call, so they don't get into that crisis wake-up where they feel no choice but to find who they are, to learn more about their purpose in life and what they're here to experience and where their joy is. That pretty much sums up the whole hour we spent.
Yeah, and just, I was just listening to you and thinking, we talked about wake-up calls in crisis, and we talked about conscious wake-up calls, but I'm assuming we could also have, like, super positive wake-up calls, too, where, like, one day you get great news and you realize all your time and energy is paying off, or something amazing happens that you end up celebrating. So is it true that we can have some really super positive wake-up calls as well?
Exactly, and those would fall into the category of of what I would call a conscious wake up. It doesn't have to be the bad things that happen in your life. It can be really good things. You can experience even a crisis could really be a good wake up call. Some people would consider our current political situation a crisis, and but that can be a good wake-up call for us as individuals saying, I'm going to live my life different than that, and I'm going to create something in the world that changes the world in a way that's very positive. So both conscious and crisis can actually be a happy wake-up call also.
Yeah, and I love that. I love how you talked about what's going on in the world politically today. It really is waking up people in a lot of different ways. So that's a really good example, and I think that so many people stress about where the world is at and politically what's going on, and what a great way to reframe that, right? That it's an invitation for people to care more, be more involved, and wake up more.
You bet. You bet.
Very cool. So I know we did talk about purpose last week, and unique purpose seems to be really important in your work. So can you define what you mean by unique purpose?
You bet. Let me start off with saying why I feel purpose is so important, and why I think Mary and I bring a different twist to purpose with really looking at the unique purpose. We are in a time of real crisis right now. If you look at the world around us, with a lot of divisiveness happening, a lot of separation, a lot of good, bad, good, evil, those type of things that are happening in the world right now. And where the world is going to make its change, it is going to start in each one of us. And each one of us are here to live who and what we are. So it's really a kind of a wake-up call across the world to start finding our purpose and start living it, so we could each be that puzzle piece that fits into the puzzle of bringing heaven to earth, or heaven on earth. And as creators of our lives, why wouldn't we want to create what we're really meant to be here for? Why wouldn't we want to create those things that, in my opinion, we kind of made a soul agreement to bring to the world? So that's why I think purpose is so important, and that's why our first program starts off with really taking you right there. So purpose is really just being who you're meant to be and doing what you're designed to do. So everything in our life, every circumstance, every person, every experience, it's all gone into becoming who we are in this very moment. And the neat thing about it is there is no one like you in this entire world. 7 billion plus people, and you bring a special uniqueness to who you're meant to be. You bring a special uniqueness to what you were designed to do. And that unique purpose is truly the root of who you are. If you want to find joy in your life, if you want to truly experience life in the highest vibration that you can, it's in finding your unique purpose and then living it.
Awesome. A couple of things jumped out at me. First of all, a soul agreement. I mean, it's just such powerful words, right? I don't think we think about that every day. That you said we kind of have a soul agreement with ourselves, right?
Yes. I feel it's very interesting. I shared a little bit of my background last week, but I grew up in a fairly strong religion and a fairly strong rule-based house. My parents were very loving, but we never looked at anything outside of that very straight constraint. And what I've begun to understand as I do more of this work, especially as I share with you into science of the brain and quantum physics and actually even some of our DNA work, I've come to believe that we made a lot of choices before we ever decided for the sperm and the egg to come together to bring us to Earth. And there's so much power in what we decided before we came here. I think we chose our parents. I think we chose where we were going to live. I even think we chose a lot of the experiences that we were going to have early in our lives so we could develop our personality or develop our ego to support us in what we're supposed to do when that wake-up call finally was answered.
It's interesting. I have a similar background too, and I was thinking about, I grew up in a Christian Catholic household, and religion was important, and I was just always a very spiritual teenager, and I went on to get a bachelor's in theology with a minor in social work. And the only time we really talked about soul was that your soul went to heaven. So, in my 20s, I had no idea of, that I could relate to my soul, or there's different parts, like there's a soul, there's a higher self, right? So kind of found my way like you did along the way, right? Just really coming to appreciate how understanding ourselves, not only our purpose, but understanding ourselves on a soul level and that connection brings a whole different energy to how we live our life.
Yeah, you bet. One of the interesting things is that it takes all of us, and I really believe there's a trinity of us, and I know we're probably getting close to break, so I'll share it in the next segment, but there's really three parts of our purpose too. We want to believe that I'm supposed to do something, or I'm supposed to make a difference here, and and somebody's going to come to the door and tell me who it is. But I really believe that every one of us has been living our unique purpose up to now, and there's really three parts to that purpose. I like to call them the quintessence, which is the real and concentrated essence of you. It's that light that you shine out into the world. It's your being. And I know we've all felt it when somebody walks into the room and you just feel who that person is. That's really their quintessence, and we each have that essence that we're sharing with the world. The second is the gift, and that's the bridge between being and doing. And the gift is an interesting thing. It kind of goes both ways. So the gift for you was the gifts and talents that you brought into this world, but those gifts and talents are also your gift to the world. The combination that is uniquely you that you're here to share with the world. And then the third part is the divine intent, and that's the special outcome that you're here on earth to accomplish. It's your mission. And you may have the same mission as other people, but it is your mission. It's kind of like one of those decisions that you made before you came to earth. This is what I was going to accomplish. This was what I was going to make happen in the world.
Wow, and I love that. I love the way you break that up. That's it's just different for me, but incredibly powerful. And I know in my life it's divine intent, right? The older I get, I think the wiser I get. I come to really appreciate what matters the most is divine intent. And Vince, that we teach people Ho'oponopono, the healing power of Ho'oponopono, and we really want people to learn Ho'oponopono so that they heal from within and they get closer to at zero. And the belief is that at zero, you're one with divinity. Mm-hmm. So any inspiration that you receive to be who you are or have a message for the world is really coming from divinity, not just your personality or your physical self.
Right. So, and Ho'oponopono is so powerful in so many, many ways. And, as they say in quantum physics, the 0 point, we want to get to the 0 point because that's where we're most powerful, because we can really create from any of the unlimited possibilities out there when we're at 0 point. And I agree, yes, that's exactly what Ho'oponopono does.
Yeah. So I know you talk a lot about all the answers that we really need are inside of us. So what answers do you think majority of our listeners and people every day are really looking for answers for?
Well, I think that we tend to believe that if we have the answers to who am I and why am I here, that all the problems are going to be solved about understanding what our purpose is. And we've been constantly searching for purpose in one way or the other. I'm sure everybody in the audience can look back and think about, well, what am I here to do? Or how am I going to make a difference? Or do I have a legacy to leave? But those are only two of the questions, and your unique purpose formula is put together to answer three other questions beside that, because that's how it brings you into that three parts of your unique purpose. One of them is, what are the gifts and talents that I have to share? What do I have to offer the world? Because there's no mistake in everything that you've done in your life so far. You've been developing these gifts and talents to share, and they're a marker, if you will, or definitely pointing you in the direction of what your purpose is. The other is, once you know what your purpose is, how are you going to share it with the world? Mm-hmm. That's the second question that I've added. But the most important, in my opinion, is, where am I right now? Because it is a perfect lead-in for you to discover what's all come together to this point to make you who you are right now. And like I said, there is no mistake in that. So who you are right now is a great indication of who you are and why you're here, because you've already been living your purpose, maybe without even knowing it.
Wow, so powerful. So we're here with Vince Kramer, and he's encouraging you guys, as our audience and anyone who's listening to this later on, that these 5 questions are incredibly important. Who am I? Why am I here? What do I have to offer the world to bring heaven on earth, as he would say? Where am I? And how do I live on purpose? We're going to take a quick commercial break, but I'm super excited to share with you guys that Vince has another gift for us, and it's at the same link as you went to last week. If you go to Dr.MaryOz, free gifts with an S, GIFTS.com, scroll down to the bottom, Vince has a actually kind of like webinar masterclass with lots of deep information about what we've been talking about for the last 2 shows. So during the commercial break, you might want to go to Dr.MaryOz, freegifts.com, download access to his free masterclass. And when we come back from commercial, Vince will be back. And of course, we are going to dive deeper for you.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
Dr. MaryOz's Radical Change Coaching Program will help you set a healing foundation in your life and teach you how to manifest more of what you want. Are you ready to get the results and radical change you have been longing for too long? Very often our clients tell us that this is the most powerful coaching they have ever received. Come join us and start living life with more results, more love, more wealth, health, and peace, as well as inspiration. For more information, call Coach Sam at 1-833-447-CHANGE. Need help deciding if our Radical Change coaching program is right for you? Apply for a free strategy session with one of our coaches. Be prepared to dive deep and identify the areas in life in which you need healing and transformation. Together, we will clarify how to close the gap from where you are to where you want to be and discover what's possible now. How would it feel to get big changes in less than 30 days for you, your loved ones, and your business? Apply now by calling Coach Sam at 1-833-447-CHANGE or visit us at radicalchangenow.com.
If you think you've seen online TV before, let us surprise you.
VoiceAmerica.tv is online now.
The leader in live internet talk radio has done it again. Multiple channels, a state-of-the-art viewing experience, live and on-demand programs streaming 24 hours a day. It's exactly what you want, when you want it.
VoiceAmerica.tv.
From health and wellness to business, sports, and everything in between. Discover our new world. Visit VoiceAmerica.tv now and experience the future of online television.
VoiceAmerica.tv.
Follow us on Twitter for more great ideas at Voice America Empowerment.
You are listening to Radical Change Now with Dr. MaryOz. If you'd like to participate in our discussion today, the phone lines are open. Reach us at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. Let's get back to Radical Change Now. Here again is Dr. MaryOz.
So we're here with Vince Kramer, the mentor to the Awakening Heart. And before our commercial break, we were talking about finding the answers from within. So tell us, Vince, where do you find these answers within? Where can we find the answers?
Well, Mary, I'll try to make the answer quick because I've got so much I want to share with the audience. But we don't live in an either-or world. We live in an and or both. Quantum physics tells us that. And to really discover who we are, we have to account for the answers from all parts of us. So first of all, the answers don't come from the outside. You're not going to find the answers to your unique purpose on the outside. They're all on the inside. And that's how you find the unique you, because once again, you only have the answers. So I kind of look at it as a triad, if you will, or a trinity of you. The top of that trinity is the capital U, and that's your connection to the universe, to God, to source, whatever you want to call it. The bottom left corner is the small u, the small y-o-u. That's the you that's living on earth, the ego, the personality that you put together to be able to live in this 3D world. I like to say that that's the big or the loud voice or voices that you hear in your head. And then the bottom right corner is the big you, the big Y-O-U, and that's your higher self, the soul, that part of you that's connected to the energy of who you truly are. You mentioned Esther and Jerry Hicks earlier. Abraham calls that, the non-physical part of you, that part of you that isn't living in the 3D world. So we, through our programs, we help you find the answers through all of those mechanisms. Tim Kelly, a mentor of mine, uses the term trusted source for the big U and the big Y-O-U and the capital U part of you to find the answers, to really tap into to God, the universe. And you can do that through prayers. You can do that through meditation. So we help people find their mechanism to really get the answers from that source. But then the small you, the ego and the personality, it's very important for you to be able to live your purpose, to understand your ego or your personality and the ability to work with it. So we also go through some processes that go back as far as Carl Jung on how to find some answers from that aspect of you. So finding the answers on the inside really encompasses all of who you are, and that's what we're so excited about, the programs that we offer, because we really help take you there, and we do it in a very safe and supported environment.
Wow, I love that. And, just to go back to Esther and Jerry Hicks, too, in our program, Radical Change Coaching Academy, we actually help people identify, it's the same work that you're talking about, but we help them identify the you and you, the non-physical self and the physical self. And then a big part of our program is to help our individuals to take them by the hand and help them close the gap of you and you. And it sounds like really that's what you're doing as well.
You bet. Our work is very, very similar.
Yeah. So for people that are listening to your message today and they love what you're saying and they want to get started, where's the best place for them to start?
The best place to start is to find your answers to the question, where am I? It's not an easy process. It really takes some desire to delve in and find the whats and the whys of your life. But if you start there, it will give you a big idea and really point you in the direction to answer those questions that you've been trying to answer all your life. Who am I and why am I here? It's really how you're living your life right now in the present moment, and what comes into, let's just say, as a pilot, I like to use the term where we're living our life on autopilot. So when you answer the question, where am I, you're kind of delving into first becoming aware of your beliefs. And our belief system was formed so early in our life, and I'm sure all the time that the audience has spent with you, that they know that most of our beliefs were formed before we were 7 years old. And it was just, we developed kind of a pair of glasses with colored lenses. So if you put a pair of glasses on with red lenses and you look at the world through those pair of glasses, it's tinted red. Well, that's kind of what our belief systems do for us. And it goes much deeper than that, but I really don't have time to share too much on that. But once we understand what our beliefs are, we'll understand why we perceive life the way we do. And the neat thing is, beliefs aren't real, and nobody told us that. So being able to reframe our beliefs and start looking at life through a new pair of glasses can truly change it. Then the second thing would be understanding what your personality is, what your ego is. It was developed to protect us, the wounded parts of us. It was developed to make sure that our needs were met. And once again, back when we were a pretty young child, and it became our operating system. But now that we have the rational, the thinking part of our brain active, we can look at as adults and see where our personality, when we're in a higher vibration, can actually support us instead of keeping us in the reaction mode in a lot of areas of our life.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, I totally agree with you about when you're talking about the whole belief system. It's so powerful when you can help someone else realize that their belief system is something they control. It's something they usually have unconsciously chosen to lock into. And I know for me, it was a really powerful lesson when I began to understand that, my beliefs are really a bunch of words just put in a certain order that make me feel good, and I tend to think they're factual, but most of the time they're not always factual. Sometimes they are. So I think this whole thing about helping people really even understand what is a belief system, where have yours come from, right? So we're talking about the past. How has the past influenced who they are today? And what's really not resonating with them, but they're not paying enough attention to.
Yeah, you bet. And the most interesting thing for me is that this is all a journey. And it's a journey that continues for probably the rest of our lives. So in helping people find their beliefs and helping people discover their beliefs, I've also found that I've been able to really uncover some pretty deep beliefs that I suppressed or repressed pretty deep inside of myself. And as I learn more about these beliefs, it really helps me live in the present. It helps me catch my thoughts before I make something of the circumstances around me that are really just my perception of it, instead of looking at it in a way that's more empowering. Some people would say, oh, you're just looking at it through rose-colored glasses. And yes, kind of. Why not choose a belief system, because they're not real, that's more rose-colored glasses, and find the good and the gift in everything that you do.
What better place than to live in the present, right? The healthiest tense to live in is not the past, not the future, but to really live in the present.
Yes, for sure.
And that's what I love what you're talking about, is finding the you and purpose. Is you're really relating it to people understanding their past, their present, and I believe you're going to talk about the future as well.
You bet. In living in one thing that was really confusing for me, and I'm sure you've got a very sophisticated audience, so I'm sure they figured it out long before I did, but when people were always talking to me about living in the present moment, I thought, well, how can you ever plan for the future? How can you ever have goals? And the aha came in is you plan for your future and you set goals in the present moment. And
yes.
And not let the past come in on affecting how you're going to set goals in the future. But as you answer the question, where am I? It really helps you in the future, because now you know the beliefs that could hold you back. And you can make a conscious decision. Do I want to continue with the belief of the 2-year-old or the 7-year-old? Or do I want to choose new beliefs instead of change, or reframe the old beliefs into ones that are more empowering to me? And we have so many empowering beliefs already to make sure we understand where we do support ourselves with our beliefs, and really lock into that belief system, the empowering belief system, to help us move in the direction that we want to go, to really live that unique purpose, to be that unique purpose. One of the most powerful things that I've experienced through the work with the ego and the magic of the personality is that it really moves with our energy level. It moves with our vibration. And when you're in the higher vibrations, in the emotional scale, those higher vibrations are joy and love and hopefulness, appreciation, gratitude. When you're in those higher vibrations, that's when you're operating from the most beneficial part of your personality. We use the Enneagram which is a personality model, to help people see where they operate in when they're in the lower frequencies when it comes to their personality. And then also when they raise their vibration, and that's part of our work too, helping you learn how to raise your vibration to those higher vibrational levels, how the ego is so supportive of who you are and so supportive of what you're here to do.
So I think for a lot of people, that's a new concept, right? I know I've been trained as a social worker, and it's almost like there's this little lesson of ego is bad. And I think a lot of people think, oh, that's so egotistical. So again, what a beautiful reframe to see where the ego has meaning and purpose that's meant to support us and help us really be who we're meant to be and do what we've come here to do. So I love how you reframed the sense of ego.
You know, Mary, and it goes back to realizing that there are no mistakes in the world. There are no coincidences. Your personality was developed for a reason, and it wasn't developed to hold you back. It was developed to propel you forward. And that's what the wake-up calls are all about, for you to really open your eyes when that alarm clock goes off, to open the eyes to the magic of you. More importantly, to the miracle of you. As I said in show 1, you know, the miracle is you living your life, sharing your gifts and talents in a way that others can share theirs. And that is the miracle that you wake up to.
So, I'm listening carefully to what you said, and I kind of hear it funnel through my own mind and heart in the sense that I would really like our listeners to be challenged today that there are no mistakes in who you are. So wherever you're at today, whoever you are today, like, how do you trust in that all is well and I'm okay just the way I am? So there's no mistakes in who you are, and there's no mistakes in who you are becoming. And I think Vince has given us some amazing advice and guidance about if you want to take who you are, purpose, meaning, what are you here for, those 5 questions we were talking about earlier in the show, to another whole level. The information that he's sharing with us is some powerful information that will take you that way. And of course, Vince is here if you feel like you don't want to do that journey alone. He's letting us know that he's here. He has a company, he has a message, he has programs, he has some free gifts for us, including a masterclass that he's going to be offering us. And if this is work that's resonating with you, you might want to listen to the call today, listen to last week's call, or be really smart of you to accept Vince's free gift, his free masterclass that we'll be offering at the end of today's show. Would you agree with all that, Vince?
You bet. The interesting thing is that the answers are there, and you get clues all the time. So listen to yourself and find someone to help you move in the direction of being able to hear that little voice in your head, the higher self, your soul that's talking to you and really giving you the directions in life. And it's kind of hard sometimes because those bigger voices, the ego that's trying to protect you, the ego that's trying to make sure you stay in this closed environment, because the only way the ego can protect you is if you stay in the environment that it's comfortable with. And so many of you are ready to step out into the world to really show the world and share with the world who you are. That's very frustrating and very scary for the ego. So in becoming more aware of the ego and really learning to partner with your ego, truly mastering your mind, is where you're going to make that big quantum leap into the world that you want to live.
Awesome. Vince, I'm listening to everything you're saying, and I know you and I had a conversation during the week about, we want to make sure that our audience knows that everything we're talking about today is not just for individuals. right? So finding the you and purpose, we're talking about this for individuals, families, companies, organizations, because all of these areas in our lives, families, companies, organizations, businesses, have a unique purpose.
I agree. I had a conversation just recently with a CEO, and we were talking about the programs that I have to offer, and he was, this is really great, but I don't have time to do anything for myself. I'm working on the business, and I brought the concept of microcosm and macrocosm to his attention, and like you said, Mary, there is really no difference. A business has a unique purpose. It has a set of unique gifts and talents that it has to bring into the world. And just answering those 5 questions in your corporation or even in your family can make, well, as I said, quantum leap type changes in your relationships in your family, in your relationships with your customers, and also the quality of work that you put out.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Vince. We're going to take another quick commercial break, and I'm going to encourage our listeners right now, take a minute, it only takes a second or two, go to Dr.MaryOz, O-Z, free gifts with an S, GIFTS.com, and give us your name and email address. Scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see 2 gifts from Vince. And today's gift is all about being able to join him on a masterclass for free, where he's going to take you even deeper than he's been taking us the last 2 weeks. Quick commercial break, and don't forget to join us for our last segment.
Live up to your fullest potential. This is the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Dr. MaryOz's Radical Change Coaching Program will help you set a healing foundation in your life and teach you how to manifest more of what you want. Are you ready to get the results and radical change you have been longing for too long? Very often our clients tell us that this is the most powerful coaching they have ever received. Come join us and start living life with more results, more love, more wealth, health, and peace, as well as inspiration. For more information, call Coach Sam at 1-833-447-CHANGE. Need help deciding if our Radical Change Coaching Program is right for you? Apply for a free strategy session with one of our coaches. Be prepared to dive deep and identify the areas in life in which you need healing and transformation. Together, we will clarify how to close the gap from where you are to where you want to be and discover what's possible now. How would it feel to get big changes in less than 30 days for you, your loved ones, and your business? Apply now by calling Coach Sam at 1-833-447-CHANGE or visit us at radicalchangenow.com.
Life can be confusing at times. There can be uncertainty, disappointment, and an inability to clearly see where you're headed. But it doesn't have to be this way at all if you understand how to take the next step in your life. Tune in to Living the Miracle with your hosts Michael and Raphael Tamura. We'll help you define the deeper meaning that awaits you in your life, have certainty in yourself, and learn to be clairvoyant. Listen Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern on Voice America Empowerment.
Friend us on Facebook to keep up with what's empowering the world. Voice America Empowerment.
You are listening to Radical Change Now with Dr. MaryOz. If you'd like to participate in our discussion today, the phone lines are open. Reach us at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. Let's get back to Radical Change Now. Here again is Dr. MaryOz.
So, welcome back, everybody. We're here with Vince Kramer, the author of Miracle Life and the Create Formula. And I just wanted to share with you, Vince, I was thinking during the commercial break about what we were talking about. And, you know, Radical Change Coaching Academy is really a family business. So, one of my goals this week is while I'm traveling and I have plenty of time on the airplane and while I'm away, I'm really going to be diving deep about what is Radical Change Now or Radical Change Coaching Academy's unique purpose? So I just want to thank you for that challenge, and I'm going to commit to you that I'm going to spend some time really getting into the essence of that this week with not only thoughts, but feelings and energy as well.
I can't wait to hear the results.
I'll send you a quick email.
All right.
So we have some time remaining, and I think you came prepared to share a little exercise with us.
I did. Like I said earlier, there are no coincidences or mistakes in our life. So I'd like to look at the big you part of you for a second, that part of you that is the creator, or more importantly, the co-creator of the circumstances that happen in your life. And as the big you creates those circumstances, now you get to use the little you to look at how you want to perceive those circumstances and move through them. But there's a reason why we've created this journey of ours, and there's a gift in every set of circumstances. So I'd like to take the time to really find a gift in something that you didn't think was such a good deal in your life. And that's why I appreciate the power of Ho'oponopono so much. It kind of opens the door for us to discover and appreciate these gifts, because we can step outside of the emotion and the attachment to what happened. So in this experiential exercise, for those of you in a car, please don't do this now. Come back to the radio show later and listen and do the exercise. Or if you have to be completely attentive of what's going on in your life right now, please don't do the exercise. But for those of you who can, I'd like you to just close your eyes for a second and get centered inside yourself. And just take a deep breath and let all the stresses and all the demands of the day out right now. You can come back to them anytime that you want later, but just let them go for right now. And now I'd like you to look back in your life to a circumstance that happened that you thought might be the end of the world, or was going to change your life for the worse. Somewhere back in your life. Hopefully you don't have a lot of emotion tied around it anymore, but if you do, that's okay. Let the emotion just settle in, but concentrate on the circumstances themselves. And I want you to look at that circumstance as it happened then, and just try to remember how you felt it was going to be the end of the world. And now I want you to look at what happened in that circumstance. And did it make any changes in your life? Were there any gifts there for you? Did you learn something new about yourself? Did you learn something about a relationship that wasn't supporting you? Did you have to go to school, or did you have to learn a new technique or a new way of doing business? All of these things are gifts for you. They're actually moving you along your journey. They're moving you along your path. Did you find the gift? Did you find a way to move further along your path by experiencing that circumstance? We're getting close to the end of the show, so I don't want to take this too far, but this will give you an opportunity, if you sit down and do this just 1 or 2 times a week and look at some of the circumstances in your past and find the gifts, you'll learn about more of who you are. So go ahead and open your eyes. Come back to the world. I prefer that you just leave the stresses floating away, but if you want to take them back on, feel free.
Of course we don't want to do that. So Vince, I understand you have a gift for us, and it's a master class. One of the things I love about Radical Change Now is we invite you to come be on show 1, we dive deep. Come Beyond Show 2, we dive even deeper. And then we often asked our powerful guests, would you provide a masterclass so that our audience could spend more time with you and really resonate with your message? So you're offering our audience for Voice America a masterclass called Discover Your Miracle Life, 3 Mind Awakening Steps towards Your Unique Purpose. Can you tell us the benefits that people will gain from attending your masterclass?
You bet. We actually go a lot deeper into the 3 ways of looking at you. We talk about how to make contact with the big you. We talk about making contact with the little you. We look at your belief systems. We look at your personality and your ego. And I really help explain how it all came together and then give you some experiential exercises to do to really answer the question where. But it doesn't, question where am I? But it doesn't stop there. I'm in the masterclass. I am going to give you the 5 steps of your unique purpose formula. I'm going to give you the full 5 steps so you can take those steps from the time the masterclass ends and go through the process of answering the questions to the 5 steps and really uncover who you are and what you can do. And then I'll also give you an opportunity to find different ways to learn how to get help doing that, to learn how to accelerate that process and really dig deep into who you are.
So for our listeners, if you're interested in attending Vince's masterclass, you would find that at DrMaryOzFreeGifts.com. And scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a picture of Vince. And just go ahead and give us your name and email address, and he'll send you a link so that you can attend his masterclass. Well, Vince, I just really want to thank you for being here and just for being who you are. And thank you for the work that you and Mary do together. And thank you for sharing your heart with us.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's the best gift that anyone can give the world is to share their heart, and I appreciate the opportunity you've given me to share mine.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. And I want to encourage our listeners, next week, join us on Radical Change Now, as we're going to take some time to talk about life-changing results. And it's going to be a little different pattern than we've had the last few weeks. We're not going to have a special guest, but myself and Coach Sam will be joining me at the end of the show. But we're going to challenge you to know, how can you get the life-changing results that you've been looking for, the ones that perhaps you've reached out for help before and you were disappointed and you didn't get the help that you truly wanted. If you're looking for healing and you really want to heal from something once and for all, this is a call that you're going to want to attend. And we also want to encourage you, we're super excited to announce that as of tomorrow afternoon, Radical Change Now has a sister-brother program called Life Changing Results with Dr. Mary Oz. And if you go to voiceamerica.tv and you type in Life Changing Results, you'll be able to join us tomorrow afternoon. I think it's at 1 o'clock, but we're releasing our first online TV show ever. So we would love for you to join us tomorrow and then come join us next Wednesday. And in the meantime, have an awesome week. And don't forget to find that real purpose, that real meaning in life, and ask yourself those 5 critical questions that Vince shared with us today. Have an awesome week.
Thank you for tuning in this week for Radical Change Now. Be sure to join Dr. Mary Oz again next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Until then, have the best week of your life.